Your music here.
Buenas. Buenas tardes, buenas noches, buenos días y buenas, ¿qué más? Pendejadas, buenas pendejadas. Welcome to another episode of Caldo de Risa with Danny Archilla and Bryan TV. How you doing, Bryan?
Good, man. Good. I'm excited for today's guest.
I'm really happy for today's guest. She's a fellow comedian. She's a writer. She's an all-around great friend, and she's Ecuadorian. Please give it up for our guest today, Stephanie Santana.
Hey-o.
Thank you.
How are you, Steph? How's your Sunday going?
You know, it's going great. Got my mustache waxed yesterday. I'm feeling amazing.
Yeah, you look like a new man. How about that? I was going to say, from the attire, I wouldn't suppose you to be anything less than John Lasseter's intern right now.
Exactly. I'm just... I'm feeling great.
Yeah. I've known Stephanie for years. You haven't met Stephanie before today.
No, this is my first
right,
time
Bryan?
meeting Stephanie, so I'm super excited.
Yeah. You're somebody I've known for a while, and actually I knew you pre-COVID. So I've known you a little longer than Bryan.
2017 or 2018.
Way longer.
Yeah. We were on a show. We did a show with Trevor Wallace before he blew up and everything.
Yes,
I remember
we did
that.
a show with Trevor Wallace before he really started getting into comedy.
Exactly. What do you remember about comedy back then versus comedy now for like the Latin crowd, would you say? Like, do you think there was much of a difference between then and now, or has it been pretty easy?
There was no Latinos at that show then. There's no Latinos at the shows we do now. I mean, I don't know. At least in the Valley. I'm more like in the Valley scene, and it's a lot of, comedians who had a big break in like 1997, and we like try to make them laugh.
Shout out to Perry Kurtz, I guess, right?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he died in 1998. I'm pretty sure that is a collective delusion that we've all agreed is Perry Kurtz.
We're all just seeing his ghost in real time.
Yes, you can go to the Liquid Zoo for that. Sunday nights.
I'll just go there if I want to drink beers and smoke cigarettes. That's what I'm hoping to do.
Yes.
Well, thank you. Welcome, Stephanie. You say you're half Ecuadorian, and what's the other half, white?
Yes.
Okay, so that's interesting because, like, that's how I feel all the time. I feel like I'm a half Latino, half Taco Bell. Like I'm not really. So how does that feel? Because you are able to speak Spanish and everything, right?
Sí, puedo hablar, pero no me gusta.
Oh.
No me gusta hablar. Pero puedo.
And you can understand it. Can
Sí.
you write it?
Puedo leer.
Más o menos.
No puedo escribir.
You can phonetically write it now.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, everybody can phonetically write it. I have trouble with the accents and everything and conjugations.
Yeah. Conjugations just kick my ass, dude.
Yeah.
Nightmare.
Who was it in your family that was the Ecuadorian? Who was the white parent?
So, white dad and my mom, she passed away in 2020, but she was from Ecuador. And so I've been to Ecuador a couple times, but I haven't been to Ecuador since I was 15 years old. But in 2016, I did an internship for a nonprofit in Bolivia, and then with that same nonprofit that works with UNICEF and World Food Program, just a couple weeks ago, I was with them in Colombia recently.
Wow.
So I've been in the region since. It hasn't been 15 years since I've been in the region. I just haven't been to Ecuador itself in 15 years.
Right. Well, what a philanthropist. That's good for you.
Yeah.
Where's your old man from?
He's from Ohio.
Where in Ohio?
I think. Well, actually,
My old lady's from Chagrin Falls in Ohio. It's the only place I know out there.
I don't actually. I think
Cleveland.
he was born in DC. He was born in DC.
I'm from Virginia.
Oh, okay. I went to college in Virginia Beach.
Really? I'm from Virginia Beach.
Really?
Where'd you go to college?
Regent University.
Really?
Yes.
I went to Old Dominion.
Centerville Turnpike.
Hey, that's awesome.
DMV represent.
Centerville Turnpike.
How long did you live out there?
You
had to have lived out there.
Yeah, all
4 years?
well, I graduated early, but
Where'd you live? Like live?
Like it was called the Commons, but it was on Centerville Turnpike.
Stop. Really, bro?
Yeah.
What years? Because you look younger than me, my sure. I graduated in 08.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't lie.
I graduated. I thought we were like the same age. I graduated in like 2016.
So you would have been in school out there in 2017, 2018?
Well, I graduated
college? Oh, you graduated college?
Yeah, I graduated college.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
We might have
Chances.
2 ships in the night, bro.
Two
We might have
ships
just
in the night.
might have just been hammered out there and just walked right by
Did
each
you
other
go
during
to,
Orange Fest. Orange
Those
Fest.
Sparkles
Chakas or
and La Noche.
Peabody's?
Yeah, of course, of course. But I went to Chakas. Oh, I went to Peabody's when I was like 14 or 15.
Yeah, I got
know?
kicked out all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you ever go to PBR
No.
or any of those like more inland stuff like that? No.
No, I did. And then I worked at a t-shirt shop at the boardwalk.
Oh yeah.
And I would just see the craziest shit.
Virginia Beach Boardwalk. People don't think it's as crazy because it's cleaner, but the reality is,
I saw a weave in a tree once.
Yeah, see, that's the type of shit that you'll see.
Yeah.
What are some crazy characters you would run into on this boardwalk?
I mean, like, people just openly walking someone on a leash, you know, like that is what I saw. It wasn't even that, like, it was like 8 p.m. Like, it was like 8 or 9 p.m. But I saw like a guy and his partner, and he was like walking her, and they just like walked by the t-shirt shop.
Oh, yeah,
it gets crazy.
Yeah, did you ever go to that mini golf?
No, I didn't. But I always pass by it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
One time I partied super hard with Jay Nasty. Rest in peace, Jay Nasty. He's not dead. He's just like vibing. And we partied. We just got super hammered. And then I think the car got towed. So we fell asleep in front of the church that's right behind the boardwalk. There's like a huge church that's usually covered with the homeless people. And it was all these homeless people and then just me and Jay Nasty in like little button-up shirts. And we were like... just like passed out right in front of the church. It was awesome.
All the bars at ODU were cool. Like,
yeah, man. Del Vecchio's is a pizza joint at Old Dominions that we used to go to at like 2 or 3 in the morning. Just absolutely blitzed out.
That was the time back then.
It was great, dude.
It was good.
Yeah, you know, it was different too. You know, it's like I was down there when Obama got elected in 08, and I was at Old Dominion, and we were on top of a water fountain where the Monarch is at, and I jumped off because the cop showed up, and I landed right on one of the water spouts.
Oh my
that
God!
Shoots water out. It was like
God.
Did you get hurt?
Inches of. Oh yeah, I have a scar on my foot. It just gauged me right up the foot. It was Old Dominion, good times. Where were you raised?
North Carolina.
Really? So you're an East Coast dude?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. All right, that's cool. So your mom met your old man where? Out there or how?
Yeah.
Your story's starting to sound like my story.
Yeah, how did they meet?
So it's crazy. She came over like via plane and landed in Los Angeles, then went to New York, worked for a Jewish family. Then they moved to Raleigh, North Carolina. And then she found some other work there and was doing a Christian ministry group for the Christmas tree farmers. And at that point, it was an influx.
Yeah, 100%.
For that. And then my dad was studying at NC State in Raleigh, and then he had a minor in Spanish, and he's like, I want to get into. I want to know
Amazing.
people speak Spanish, and then like he, obviously Christian too, so they met together.
Adorable. Wonderful.
And then they moved to Florida and had me. Then
yeah.
at 8 years old, we all moved back to North Carolina.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Very cool. Because my mom came here, but she already had me. So when I came here, my dad was in Panama and married her, and he adopted me. And then we went to North Carolina, lived in North Carolina and Raleigh for like 3 or 4 years, and then moved to Virginia. And then I spent the whole time there in Virginia. Yeah. It's there's such a small community out in Virginia as far as like Hispanic, because I grew up in Williamsburg and like the Newport News kind of area. So it's like, that whole area, bro. So it's like, it is interesting because my dad loves to speak Spanish out there. He thinks it's the funniest thing in the world. He's always like, every time we go to the Mexican restaurant whenever I come home, he loves the Mexican restaurant. Una margarita, por favor. Esto es mi hijo, and he's my dad, and I'm like, you just love to fucking. He's like, I don't get to speak it anywhere else because my mom, his wife and my sisters are white, so he doesn't, but.
Oh, okay, so white mom.
Right, so it's like my dad, because again, technically he adopted me, so it's like I have his wife, which is, what I consider my mother and my sisters, what I mean? But they're all white. So he doesn't you know, I think that was part of the thing. That's why when you said your dad had a minor in Spanish and met your mom in the Catholic, you know, or the Christian group, it's like, yeah, white dudes love Hispanic women, dog. And as soon as they figure out a little bit of the language, you know, and then they find themselves a beautiful fucking gorgeous Hispanic woman, and then it's like they either survive or they don't, like, you know what I mean, like, and so it is cool. It's a nice thing. So when did you come out here back to LA? When did you move out of that, after college?
So I did right after college, like about 6 months after I did the internship, fall 2016 in Bolivia, and then that was for 4 months, and then in 2017 in February I moved out to Los Angeles.
And you've been here ever since?
Yes.
You're into doing that, like, not doing that like thing. I hate to make it sound like that, but you're you volunteer, like you're in the trenches, like
yeah.
You know, do you have shit to talk about Red Cross? Like, do you think Red Cross are monsters? Like, I don't know. It's like you've mentioned a couple names. I think it'd be interesting for us to kind of just like get an understanding.
Yeah, let's
because I don't know about you know. It's like you hear these horror stories about like, pardon me, even like right now. I don't know if you guys noticed the trend of like fast food people and like everywhere being like, would you like to round up and donate this money to? It's like not even just PetSmart anymore.
I've noticed that.
Like
I've noticed
Taco
that
Bell,
quite a bit.
and like Panda Express.
Yeah, no,
that's all bullshit.
I think that's why it's so important to, you know, go abroad or like wherever you're thinking of. If you're thinking of giving money to a group, like find a way to visit their projects and see like what's legitimate.
That's the best way you can really help, because it's like money is like something anybody can dispense, but if your actual efforts could still make a difference in the long timeline that is the supposed growth for that community.
Yeah, and specifically what I did in Colombia was working with Venezuelan refugees. I went to I sent you a picture. I went to like the border
I saw
of Venezuela.
The pictures. So work out how it like went for you. So you arrived where? You arrived in Bogota. You arrived in El Dorado.
Yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. Okay. So then your first night in Bogota. What happens after that?
We were like barely there, and we got on a plane. We went to We went to Cucuta. We were there for 3 days.
Cucuta.
And then we were in Nicoclí, which is like a beach town, and that was hot, dude. Like I was like, you know, you really gotta help yourself before you help others. And physically, like I'm just like not in shape. Like, and it's hot.
I want to say that. I'm very much in shape, and I still can't handle the Southern American like heats. Like you're that much closer to the equator.
Yeah.
You would know being from Ecuador.
But it was. But it was.
He said I'm very much in shape. He didn't even say I'm a little. He said I'm very much in shape.
I'm gonna win this fight between
Feinstein.
Feinstein and I. He's
honestly,
going down.
My vote is on Danny.
Yeah,
I
but
think
you have to say that because he's Hispanic.
That's right. Stick together.
You're not allowed to say that word. I don't know how many times I have to tell you that. Heyo, that's Will.
Shout out to Will's house. We're shooting at his studio. Okay, so you're going to this beach town, and then it's too hot, but you have to help yourself before you help others, and.
Yeah, and I would I'm there because, I mean, the projects we're visiting are maternity clinics. We're visiting mainly soup kitchens, though. So I actually, handed out some of the food to people. So it was cool.
That's really amazing, honestly. Yeah. I can only imagine their gratitude that's shown in their eyes as you gave them the international language of please eat.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, they're just passing through. One of the photos is of the Darien Gap, and that goes like through Panama.
The Darien Gap, literally, bro. That was gonna be my next conversation with you about that. But real quick before we hop into that, I just have one quick question. Can you pinpoint at what point in your life that this spirit of like going out and helping people, like, was there like a little bug that you saw once that was like on its back and you were like, the world's a bug and I can flip it? Like,
I won't mention the name of the organization because that organization does partner with UNICEF, Red Cross, World Food Program, but basically my dad has worked for them for over 20 years, and so it's always been a part of my family, this kind of line of work. And so it's
generational.
Yeah.
Sick.
It's very much, you know, in our hearts, and like something
that's awesome.
I've grown up around, so very, very easy to get involved.
I think your mom would be proud of you.
Yes, she would have loved being down there. So yeah.
She was she same way as well. She was very much like.
Yes, she had, because they met doing like the different ministry stuff, and so she's always been involved in various efforts.
Hey, sometimes religion can be cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Religion can be sexy. Oh.
Religion can be sexy. How was it on the East Coast for you growing up as a Hispanic?
It was terrible because, like, I was in Boone, North Carolina. I was in, like, a rural, like, here.
How Hispanic was your mom also, by the way? Because right off the bat, you and Danny kind of share sort of similar skin structures. You have a Hispanic face.
Yeah.
But for the most part,
Yeah, my mom, she was very dark, so I got, like, my dad's lightness. Yeah, like, I still looked different.
100%,
and, like,
yeah.
and if there were Latinos, they were like El Salvadorian, Mexican.
Paisas.
Yeah, like very, and
they
so it's
they
like,
came over the,
Yeah, very different. And so like so I like grew up for the first 8 years of my life in South Florida, and like everybody was like, oh, we speaking Spanish.
Cubanos.
Puerto Ricans, Cubans, and I'm like, okay, like let's
Mija,
do
mija.
this exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like not the vibe. Like that wasn't the vibe. But
When did you leave Florida to get to North Carolina?
when I was 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the good times ended. The sunny good
100%.
times ended, and they were like, "Oh, okay."
Were you one of the only Hispanic kids in your school?
Yeah, and they're like, back then, like before 2016, when someone called you a Mexican, that was an insult. That was an insult. like in elementary school, like or middle school, like. You're a Mexican. You're such a Mexican. Like, that was an insult. There's a scene in The Office where Michael Scott is talking with Oscar, and he's like, is there something else I can refer to you that's less offensive than Mexican? And it's like, you think of when The Office came out.
Yeah.
Like, that's a time joke. That makes sense.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, one of the things that I remember hearing when I was younger in like middle school or high school was wetback.
Yeah.
A lot. And I never understood it until you finally meet like Mexicans, and they're like, oh, that's because they think, you know?
Exactly.
And so there's like a lot of misperceived, like, it's like I never met a Jewish person until I moved out to California. You know what I mean? Like, I maybe saw a synagogue once when I went to go visit Raleigh to check out UNC or whatever. Like, there's like a big synagogue out there, like.
Yeah.
And there's a heavy Jewish community out there as well. And it's like, I didn't know, in my mind, the only form of Jewish people that I knew were from Family Guy. So it's like cool that the way I'm assuming it is you are, your parents, givers, they go out, they take you out. Like, you probably had a wider range of the world when you went to North Carolina and Virginia versus me. So it's like those, ideologies and things like that. You've been accustomed to that. Your parents were like, well, we went out and we helped, Palestinians, last or whatever. And so it's like, did that help in any way as far as just like acclimating to the American culture and like kind of not necessarily fitting in, but just like getting along with your white classmates and like, did you,
they started that work like, that's why we moved to North Carolina. So that it was before then. He used to work for company like Cisco, like a tech company that like went under. Like those companies in the early 2000s that like went under. But like he got like a severance package, and then we were able to just like move to North Carolina. But back when those things were still a thing, like now they're like, you're fired, severance package.
What
What's that? Like, grab your.
We're gonna sue you.
Yeah, exactly.
We're losing money because we're firing
money
you.
from you.
Yeah,
It's wild. The early 2000s, man.
Yeah, it really was a shit show, man. I watched The Big Short the other day. Speaking of Steve Carell, and it's like, oh my god, they really just let them. They just let them, and it's gonna happen again.
The Big Short, Blackberry. I'm also like,
Blackberry is amazing.
So good.
Jay Baruchel is such an amazing dramatic actor.
I have such a crush on Glenn Howerton.
That is my celebrity. All that work in Always Sunny.
So
that work in Always Sunny prepared him for that role.
I know. That bald cap was horrendous, though.
No, he shaved his head.
You see it in
that
the podcast. You see it in the podcast that he shaved his head for that role.
Shaved his head.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
You thought that was a bald cap?
I was like, this is a bad bald cap.
Yeah, people forget he's Juilliard trained. He is like a classically trained actor. So to him, if that's what it takes.
Trained to my heart.
Trained to my heart. Go ahead, Danny. Ask some questions.
For sure. So you were working with UNICEF. You obviously were involved with those efforts. how long were you there for again? Helping out with the Venezuelans?
I was there for like July 6th through the 13th.
Okay. Yeah. And what did you feel like you noticed about like what did it feel like high tension to you when you were like assisting and all that? Like, was it pretty desolate, the scenario, or did you feel like like these people are just on the way back up, like they'll find their footing after we help them out here?
First, every city we went to felt incredibly safe, and it wasn't just because like we had people there. I think like Colombia is very safe, certainly a lot more safe than Ecuador is right now with all of their turmoil and what's going on there. So it was safe and the travel was easy. But yeah, like it was, I had a good time. It was just like we were constantly like moving locations. Either we were at a maternity clinic visiting that project, or we were, at one of the UNICEF kitchens that we partnered with for the soup kitchen. So we were like always just on the go.
Wow.
That's cool though.
That's awesome.
How's feminism out there right now in Colombia?
They do have like a big campaign going on like nationwide, like against, femicide and like killing.
Yeah. That's
like,
important.
Of course it's important.
Like gender-based violence is like a big deal over
huge.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 65% of all like.
And they have, so I was able to see like a lot of the posters and also like with the organization that I'm with, they have referral programs. So it's like,
cool.
It's not like, you're just coming through and you're hungry, like here's a plate. It's like, hey, like there's actually psychologists that will take you aside and be like, and if it's like, hey, I'm getting abused, they can refer you to somebody.
Sick.
So
cool.
That's really awesome.
All right. How's the food out there?
Really good.
What sort of plates did you have?
I didn't have too much of a variety because I do have ulcerative colitis and like I have dietary restrictions. I literally, because I can't have dairy. So all I kept saying was like, tienes bebida de almendras, leche de almendras, which is like, almond milk. Shout out to Juan Valdez. Big shout out to Juan Valdez.
Yeah.
For having leche de almendras and coming through with the non-dairy products.
They have good cafes. I've had some of their coffee, but their cafes are amazing.
And I know the Juan Valdez is the Starbucks of Colombia. I know that. I don't care if it makes me a basic bitch. I love it.
You're not basic at all.
Thank you.
No.
Is American culture really prevalent out in Colombia right now? How are the movies? What movies do they push out? Are there Colombian movies? Like,
no, it's all our movies. Like I think. Like we're in LA, entertainment capital of the world. It's all our movies. That we
Deadpool y Wolverine.
And then I forget the Spanish name for like the Feelings movie.
Adentro afuera? What?
Yeah, like.
Adentro afuera? That's like, a good one,
it was
dude.
Something, but it was called something else. But
I'm
no.
gonna look it
El
up.
Spider-Man.
Los
sentimientos.
It's definitely
Los
a lot of.
sentimientos would have been a good one too.
A lot of American culture is prevalent there, and I know that because like when we were in one of the places we were staying at, I looked out. And I was like, it felt like I was looking out at the Sherman Oaks Galleria, dude. Because it was like a McDonald's and a Cinemark. I was like, I traveled all this way
just to end up at the McDonald's and the Cinemark.
Just to look at the McDonald's and the Cinemark.
You're like looking at the hobo over there, and you're like, wait a minute, like it's the same dude from over on the corner.
I feel sorry that I didn't get to tell you in advance. If you go to the Dunkin' Donuts, they have caramel donuts. They have caramel donuts and sometimes caramel-filled donuts.
Yeah, Danny, you can get those down at...
No, but they say them differently. They say that it's dulce de leche. That's how they market it. So, there's... I don't know what it is. Whenever I taste something caramel-flavored, it's good. But whenever I taste something dulce de leche, it's better, even if it's the same flavor. I love it all the same. So, you try that out at Keep It next time. You're going to love it.
Yeah, next time you volunteer to go in.
Yeah, by the way, I found the titles.
Next time you're out and...
I found the titles.
You can't eat donuts.
Yeah, that's right. You can't eat donuts. My bad.
You just spent 2 minutes describing to her the thing that she couldn't eat. You drove up here with her. She explained to you that she couldn't eat.
I can't do
Danny started the whole show by going, okay, are you cool with me mentioning that you can't eat certain things? And then proceeded to tell you about the things that you can't
please
eat.
Please have this amazing
I'm one of those persons that you have to like repeat something to a lot.
Let's
like
talk,
kind of like a lawnmower. By the way,
let's talk comedy real quick. What's the name of the In and Out?
Intensamente. Is that the name? or Brenda Mendez?
Adentro afuera is a good one. I
I like Entos de Pedos. I don't know what that means. Del Reves. These are like, they have several different title names for it. It doesn't quite make sense.
It was, yeah.
I guess that's an interesting thing, though. But we're talking about comedy. We're talking about culture. We're talking about how you feel like the mental conversation plays in your sets and in your life. Because you're talking about like how, there's a lot of an effort there now in Colombia for like females to get help, in case there's something bad happening. Do you feel like, as both a comedian and an Ecuadorian, mental health does play a lot into your day-to-day? Like, you have to constantly think about making sure you're okay before you hit the stage? Or is that something you can still joke about and not even have to put so much intensity on?
It was, it's interesting because there's like stuff on stage like that you get over, like sometimes like if you're like, for me, I still have like public speaking anxiety.
Really?
Yeah. And so I got over it recently, like very recently, like yesterday. I was doing a show at Saludos and I bombed. I got over my anxiety just to bomb. It was terrible. It was terrible.
How long was your set?
Like 10 minutes. I don't know.
Oh!
10-minute bomb.
That's
nice.
a long time to bomb. Good on you.
I had some wins.
Shut
I had some wins.
Shut up.
The thing is, why do people, like, they'll laugh, but not audibly? Like, the silent laughs, I'm like, girl, I'm gonna need you to cackle. Like, because you see them being like...
It's the jungle, bro.
And it's like, please, we need to hear these laughs.
The monkey never makes it easy for
as far as, like, mental health, like, I think a lot of people we know personally should all be in therapy. Like, I'm in therapy now. And if it's not working, get a new therapist. That's what I did. And then, like, as far as like the conversation of mental health for Latinos, there's this guy that I work with, and who I am able to like speak Spanish with a lot. And he literally was like, he told me to take a Tylenol and echale ganas. And I'm like, sometimes you gotta do that. So I think, like, honestly, we want to shit on our parents, and like especially them for not like addressing mental health, but sometimes you do just have to get over it. Like, I don't know, like, you do just have to buckle down and do the shit you hate. Like, sometimes they're right, of course that leads to like a lot of repression and like putting shit down, but like, sometimes our abuelitas are right.
Facts.
Yeah.
Did you ever get hit as a kid?
No.
What about you, Danny? You ever get the shit beat out of you as a kid? Like with a wooden handle or something? Nah, you're a baby, bro. Your mom wouldn't touch you.
No comment.
Your mom
I'm
wouldn't
not
touch
talking
you.
about Roberto and Alba like that.
He's lying. His mom
Yeah, I also, even if I did, I would say no.
Yeah,
I won't. My mom knows what she did. You know what you did, you monster. You know what you did. But I'm strong now. I'll take her on. I'll take her on the next time I see her. For me, I don't know about Danny's fucking whatever he asked, but how much of you is your set is Hispanic? Like, how much do you go on there? Like, when we had, what's his name? Russell on.
Yeah.
We also had Mario Rodriguez on.
We've had Steph Turan on. We have.
And these are some canned questions for the most part. But how much of it is you when you go on stage as Hispanic? How much, your upbringing for the most part, doesn't, it sounds like you kind of just had North Carolina basically after Florida. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna count pre-8 years
you
old. You
even have a little bit of a East Coast Southern slang.
Yeah, like sometimes it sounds like if you and I got to a hoedown or something, it would start kicking in a little bit. You know what I mean?
You two of you were doing a vocal square dance.
I didn't realize, I didn't recognize it until she told me she went into North Carolina, and I said, oh. Yeah. I was like, that's why it's starting to, but so do you go on stage, like, or do you have like a character named Doña Florencia? Are you like, when I was younger, my mom was like, it's like, how much of it,
Yeah, I use my mom's maiden name as my stage name. I don't want people knowing my real name.
Oh, that's right, because your real name, I know what your real name is.
Yeah.
This motherfucker.
So, because then people are confused. They're like, wait, white dad, why is it Santana? That's the hang up, if you guys, whatever. But no, I try to, but like, it's, I don't know. I do discuss a little bit about like growing up in North Carolina, a little bit of like I'll be like, I'm half Vallarta, half Erewhon, and like all this bullshit. Like, like I'll do little stuff like that. I'll give the people what they want, but like I do mainly talk about.
That's
like,
kind of a regional joke, though.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you go to Des Moines and be like, I'm half air
well, then wherever I go, I'll have to like scramble to be like, what is this?
half a Buc-ee's. yeah, half Buc-ee's.
What do you feel like is your strongest joke on stage?
What?
Latin or not? Like I just want to know. Like, does it have to do with a little bit of it, or does it
No,
have to be more?
I have some situationship material that's that's always because a lot of people in LA that go to comedy shows are single. If they're in LA, if they're outside, obviously like Thousand Oaks are all like married and they hate each other, but like, and it's different like comedy, which I experienced last night. So they were like, anybody that did well was talking shit about their kids. I'm like, I don't have kids to talk shit about.
Yeah, your kids suck.
Yeah.
That's usually when I do. When people start talking about their kids. How do you do white versus Hispanic crowds? Do you have different stuff in the pocket? How do you feel as far as just like, do you feel stronger performing in front of white people versus Hispanic?
I don't know. I'm so isolated. Like I said, I don't really perform a lot to Latino crowds that I would love to.
How about women? Do you or I guess rather the question being, do you find it's almost like a triple whammy because Danny's like a Hispanic guy who doesn't feel Hispanic, so it's like whatever, and I'm like a little bit darker, but it's not like I have any problems. I'm a man, but it's like you're a lady and you're Hispanic, and you're a comedian going on stage, like how do you feel like the difficulties that we hear all the time? I'm not saying that they aren't as big as they are, but is it kind of like take the Tylenol and the échale ganas? Like what? How?
Yeah, I feel like people they either want to hear that or like. They want to hear like more. I think with all female comedians, like they only get a laugh if they talk about sex, and it's just like I fucking hate that. Like why? And then a lot of like female comics, they do talk about sex and they do it well and it's funny and it's whatever. But it's just like I don't like. Why does it have to be that? Like why do we have to get anybody's attention? And I think that's like crowd wise, that's what they want to hear. So
very cool.
That's what it is, yeah. But you're making it work.
How do you do in front of women, Danny?
It varies. Actually, I hosted a show. No, I'll tell you what. I hosted a show a couple weeks ago for my buddy Charlton over there at Life's a Comedy in West LA. Alfred Kanua was on it. Julie Weidman was on it. And who else was there but Julie Weidman's neighbor, who apparently never went to see stand-up before, but she was an old lady. She was there with her son, middle-aged man, and I kept doing crowd work with her. And I was like, hey, I haven't seen you on Tinder yet. Let me know when you do. See me, la la. And don't want to say we flirted, but we did enough.
God forbid.
We did enough chemistry to where
they had sex.
Yeah, they fucking.
I didn't. No, okay,
You
that's
got
not what
knuckle
happened.
deep, homie.
Whatever it was, Julie told me the next day, hey, thanks for putting me on. And also, my neighbor really loved your show, and she says she wants to come back for more. So
Bet she does.
well, you know what I mean. The point is that people have varying degrees. You do well with women. I do pretty okay. She must do great.
I do well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, I for me, it was more of just like, that resonated, the Mexican guy telling you to take the Tylenol.
Yeah.
And then, it's like, I would never take it away from any woman and their experiences in comedy, or anything. But I wonder sometimes, is it, it's like you said, it's like, there are choices being made, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm not against them. It's like, if you're here to do it and get it done, you know what I mean? But, I don't know. It's a harder path sometimes, that breeds a type of person who goes to Colombia and helps people.
She's a hard worker in general. I mean, like everything I know Stephanie to do, she always puts her 100.
What are the top 10 things? What would you list them off right now?
Okay, yeah, let's do it. Into her day job, she puts a lot into that.
Nice.
Her stand-up, I notice you always being like very considerate about what you want to write. D&D, she and I are part of the same D&D.
Oh yeah,
We are,
God damn,
yeah.
Danny, everybody is in this motherfucker except me.
Hey, you're being looped in. You already met Russell, now you met Stephanie. You're very caring about Hell to Die On. That's your comedy brand.
Oh, yeah.
Which is
We'll
totally
get into
separate
that.
from the stand-up because you guys are trying to like incorporate not only shows but also certain events, special events.
Certain events.
Yeah.
My co-host Alec Pritchard.
Yes, shout out to Pritch. What else? You're into Gosh, you really do love like having little fun, like
Time's
going
running
out.
out, Danny. Time's
Going out.
running out.
How much time do I have?
Come on, let's go.
When we
He's
went to
so
the
close.
carnival and when we went to the bowling thing that one time and the double date, that was fun.
Yeah, lucky strike.
Yeah.
10 seconds, Danny.
You're into fashion and you're into cash.
shit, Danny.
You're into social media.
he's losing it. He's swerving.
You're into hats from.
And then go back to what he's listing.
I will. No, I get what you're saying.
I think I said enough.
It sounds like you respect the hell out of her, you know?
Yeah.
And I always ask comedians, you know, I'm like, you know, you'll walk around, you know, open mics and stuff, and, you know, if you're hanging out with the right crew of people, you'll hear them be like, oh, you know, that person's looking good right now. You know, those are the type of comedians I like to be around, who are just kind of like, yo, that person's looking strong, like, that was good, like, that's great. Like, I'm a firm believer of, like, you know, iron sharpens iron, like,
building each other up.
I don't
want
wanna-
to see is tearing each other.
yeah,
down.
man, I don't want to be sitting there and being like, man, you know, don't get me wrong, I'll look over when, let's say, Vederman goes up, or, like, I'll look at, you know, Danny when they come back, and, you know, I'll look during the thing and be like, oof, like, he's doing it, and then afterwards, but it'll never be like, hey, you fucking, you know, he sucks.
Well, I mean, you know, you're actually honest enough to go ahead and tell us, hey, here's where you could have done better.
Yeah.
I remember you would do that at the comedy show too.
I just, you know, it's just, I'm a
appreciate that.
firm believer in that, so it's like,
Yeah.
you know, when getting in with people, it's like, hey, you know, that person's, you know,
Yeah.
and then I'll be like, okay, well, ask yourself this, how many dudes are in your top 5 right now in the scene? You know, okay, cool. So how many women?
Yeah, exactly.
How many top 5 women do you know right now that you would put on a goddamn show that you know
I could give
would
you.
be able to crush?
I could give you 5 myself.
Top 5.
Stephanie Santana, Steph Turan, Kat Moore, what's her name? Jessica Gutierrez, and Kristen Stallman. I just hung out with Kristen the other day.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like you're just
Top
going
6.
down the list of people that you recently hung
Yeah,
out
the
with.
the recent people I know for sure.
That does
yeah.
not make a good show, Danny. The
Well,
point being
yeah.
is, the point is,
I see your heart.
we see your heart. But are there people in the comedy scene, female? Other like, is there anybody on your end that are personally
Who's on
sticking
your
out right
radar?
now? And I'm not even. They don't necessarily have to be local. You could be
Well,
like.
these are gonna be like very like people very close to me. Obviously,
fine.
like my roommate Erin Guyvette. She's great. She hosts a fantastic show, the Deadpan Show.
At the Fox and the Hound.
Yeah, the Fox and the Hound at the mic as well. And Wendy Wilkins, you know,
Oh, classic, bro! You can't go wrong with Wendy Wilkins. She used to come to the Magic Meow. Thanks.
Tess Miller's great. A lot of great people.
I mean, again, I'm asking because I don't have a comprehensive list, you know.
And I met Steph Turan last night. So
You met her last night?
yes, she
the
was
2
on.
steps.
She was on. We're actually like back to back as
Oh.
a lineup.
Cool.
So she like talked about Ecuador, and I was like,
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
now
yeah,
I
both
have to.
Ecuadorian.
Now I have to do it. And then I was like, I'm the tallest person in Ecuador because my dad's white. Like, because I literally like I'm the and like those fuckers didn't laugh, man.
That's on them.
Listen, shout out to Steph for powering through that
Oh, yeah.
audience.
Sometimes you just can't
Yeah.
beat them. Sometimes
Given-
you just gotta run right through that guy.
I was like, I'm having a good time. I said that on stage. I was like, I'm having a good time.
Did you guys have a moment in the back where you were like, "Oh, hey, Steph"? And it was like, "Yeah." Oh, you know Danny, right? Oh, yeah, me too.
No, I mean,
Bitch.
I don't think.
I'm the better Steph to Danny. Like, no, no, not. I'm saying it wrong. Like when 2 people know, like 2 friends.
She does not know who
Danny,
I am
right?
at all. Like,
she was on this podcast.
Yeah.
Of
I
course
know,
she does.
Steph, I know.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just saying.
she did not know. Like I think she tried to do crowd work with me, and then like I was like, I don't think she. But she met me last night, so yeah.
See, I bombed right there and I powered through.
Steph, if you were Stephanie.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Now I'm
boy.
confusing everything.
half of this podcast is gonna be black screen because we're gonna have to cut out all of your
No,
mistakes.
I think it's gonna be great. If you were given a month to prepare, would you feel comfortable ever doing stand-up in Espanol?
Yeah, a month for sure.
Yeah.
I could do even 2 weeks.
2 weeks preparation. That's
Yeah.
great.
Wow.
If I'm
Yeah.
like, and I'm talking like an hour to a day, like for 2 weeks,
Yeah.
I could do it.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, there's starting to be a little bit more of a prominence. I will disagree with you on your earlier point. I think a little bit more people are trying to bring stand-up in Spanish to the forefront, you know? And I know there's something like that happening in Pasadena I was a part of.
Yeah, I want to be a part of it. Whatever
I'll link you up with the guy, Pablo.
Yeah.
We gotta have Pablo on. He's Venezuelan. He's a good guy. But I wanted to go ahead and pivot from there to just talk about what do you feel like? Do you feel good? Do you feel good being like Latin American in today's culture? Like, do you feel like a certain pride to it? Because we are meant to be proud of it. You know, God forbid what Trump or Biden anybody says. You know, like, do you feel a sense of your own?
Curveballs, but they're coming back, Danny. I love it, dude. At first, I was like, he's gonna blow it, but you brought it back. It's good. That's literally what I was thinking of asking next.
Yeah, like I mean, there's never been a better time. Like, it was ass growing up. Like, you know, people were racist, but now thankfully, I think like we've, progressed and like. I mean, we still have to put George Lopez and everything, and maybe we'll never get out of that.
And
but
his
like,
daughter.
Yeah, oh, gosh.
Georgina
I
Lopez.
call it
No, Maya.
the George
Maya.
Lopez tax, man, because it's like you're watching Blue Beetle, and then you're like, God damn it!
Oh, that's right. He is in that movie.
He has to. It's like all the Lopezes. They're like
They're
Jennifer,
literally there so that white
there.
America can just reach in when
Just
they
reach
need a little
in.
bit
Exactly.
of frijoles.
Exactly, and I think like
Part of it.
we gotta,
They just gotta die.
like I
This is the
think
unfortunate
the like, you got Crazy Rich Asians, like fresh off the boat, like Asians are killing it.
Yeah.
Like whether it's
Yeah.
like Indians or like Southeast Asians, like all together, and it's like, why can't we have that? I get so jealous and envious, and it's like,
yeah, Blue Beetle should have been in.
because we're stuck in like, like either we'll put ourselves in the tokenism or we won't, like, you know what I mean? I think like we need to like just.
It doesn't
somehow
help
get-
though that a lot of the media that's coming out ends up either being torn down or shown
or
later
narco
that it wasn't real.
stuff.
Like the hot Cheetos story, it's
Yeah.
like we had a lot of momentum with that, and then at the end it turns out the dude didn't even make it. It was all part of the company's plan to push it out further. They gave him credit for it.
Really?
Yeah, so it's like
didn't
stories
know
like
that.
that all end up,
Wow.
none of the good stuff, none of the cool stuff makes it all the way through. And Kanto is one of those weird situations that found a jet stream that managed to use Lin-Manuel Miranda's, Hispanicism and just shoot it right in between the two little gaps so that
And people want to hate on him, and it's like we gotta start, liking who we have. I know I just talked shit about George Lopez, but like
it's okay. I'm not the world's biggest fan of Lin-Manuel.
I'm just like
You gotta work with what you gotta work with.
You think I wanted to watch Jane the Virgin? No, like
I did it though.
I did it.
Yeah.
So it's like we all just need to buckle down and like support each other.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
why you come out to Hill Dive.
What's that saying you said? Swallow and move on. What was it called?
What?
Jesus Christ.
No, it was the pills, right?
That's
it was
on
the pills.
tape.
Oh yeah, take a Tylenol
Tylenol.
and échale ganas, everybody.
Échale ganas.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do. I'm gonna write that down because that's hilarious.
Take a Tylenol.
Take a Tylenol
And
and
échale ganas.
Échale ganas.
In your house, when you were growing up, were there flags on the were there flags on the wall? How much Hispanicism was brought into your house when you were a kid? Did you have a Bible in the corner? Like,
Yeah, we had Bibles. But my mom was never raised Catholic, and they're more Christian evangelicals, so there wasn't a lot of like, rosary, like imagery, stuff like that. But definitely, and not really flags per se. My mom left her country at 16 to go to Canada with her first husband, so there was it was
so big Canadian
crazy.
flag.
So I've been to Canada, but I was 3. So like,
Okay.
I don't count. I just remember the falls hitting me kind of.
Yeah, I hear you. Just
yeah.
randomly waking up. The falls.
But yeah.
I wanted to go ahead and ask Stephanie if you'd be comfortable with a bit of an Ecuadorian quiz.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. See, here's what I'll wager. If you can get at least more than 5 of these right, 6 or more right, if you get 6 or more, 6 at least right, I'll personally put down money to get you some food from our future sponsor, World of Empanadas in Burbank, California.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. World of Empanadas.
World of empanadas.
If Stephanie wins this Ecuadorian quiz de Caldo de Risa
Created by top scientists.
by top scientists, that's right.
Dr. GPT.
Yes, Dr. GPT.
Danny uses ChatGPT.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's, you know
And
what?
we realized
Danny is pro AI.
We realized
I
it
love AI. I
two
love AI. I'm
episodes
sorry.
ago because Danny was giving a test in the middle of the thing, and as he was looking down, he goes, I think it's confusing Colombian and Mexican. As he was running the ChatGPT conversation.
Oh my god!
Because the ChatGPT asked us a
Okay, well,
question.
if I mess it up, then it's
AI's fault.
It's AI's fault. Okay.
It's Big Google's fault.
Sounds like we're going to end up getting you.
All right, let's do this.
Anyway. All right. Are you ready for your questionnaire? These are going to be multiple choice, 10 questions. You only have to get 6 of them right. Yes. And I won't tell you if you got them right until afterwards. So the pressure is on Santana.
Also, I'd like to say, it's cool to see you learning because the first couple of interviews that we did, Danny gave everyone Colombian quizzes. He gave like Mexican and Salvadorian people. And, like,
Mario was so confused.
And Mario was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know any of this shit. I'm Mexican.
It's about to be about Switzerland. Like, I don't even think this is going to be the
So
right
it is cool to see a little growth. Okay, continue.
Easy does it. All right. Pregunta número 1.
Nice.
What is the capital of Ecuador?
Okay, no accent though. Just say the thing first.
What's the capital of Ecuador? Is it A, Guayaquil, B, Cuenca, C, Quito, or D, Loja?
It's Quito. It is Quito.
Okay, so that's your answer. All right. I'm going to tell you if you got it right or wrong.
Whoa, you're waiting?
I'm waiting until the end.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
If I look bad at any of this.
Question number 2. Which indigenous group is known for living in the Ecuadorian Amazon?
Incas.
Let me read the answers first.
Atta girl.
Impatient shrew. No. A, Aztecs. B, Incas. C, Shuar. Or D, Mayans. I don't know what a Shuar
What the
is.
fuck is this short?
Could be an indigenous group in the
Shawarma.
Ecuadorian Amazon. Who could it be? Aztecs, Incas, Shuar, or Mayans?
She already told you.
Oh, so you're going with Incas?
Yes.
That's your final answer.
Yes.
Don't make me waver. Now I'm worried. It is. I promise you, if it's
I
wrong.
guarantee you she knows more about this shit than
I'm trying
you
to
or me
throw her off.
or
That's the
Chad.
whole
Don't
idea.
throw me off. You can get in my head so easily. So don't do it.
All right. Question number 3. What is the currency? What is the currency of Ecuador? A, pesos, B, sols, C, sucres, or D, US dollars?
U.S. dollar.
I'm learning a lot. I didn't know. Really?
Question number 4. Which Ecuadorian singer gained international fame with the song Adios Le Pido?
Okay. There's no way I know this one.
You don't know this one?
No.
Or you do?
I don't think so. What are the multiple choice?
Yeah. Let me go ahead and tell you right now. Is it A, Julio Jaramillo, B, Juanes, C, Fausto Miño, or D, Juan Fernando Valesco?
I'm just gonna go with the first one, Julio Jaramillo, because Juanes, it's not Juanes. I know it's not Juanes. I don't think so.
You know it's not Juanes?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. That's your answer.
I don't think he's Ecuadorian.
Julio Jaramillo.
Yeah.
Question number 5. We're almost halfway through with this. How are you feeling about this, Stephanie?
I was feeling great, and now that question made me a little shaky. So I'm not sure.
Do you want to change your answer?
No.
No? Okay. Question number 5. What is the name of the famous market town in the Ecuadorian Andes known for its textiles? Is it A, Otavalo, B, Baños, C, Cuenca, or D, Manta? That was so sick when you shook that. It kind of sounded like a rattlesnake.
I feel like it's Otavalo or Cuenca. Cuenca.
Cuenca. What do you think she's doing, Bryan? Do you think she's confident in her answers, or is she?
I'm wavering.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, she's right about everything.
Thank you. That's what I like to hear.
I'm concerned.
Very good. Very good. Question number 6. Which UNESCO World Heritage Site? Oh, you better know this. Which UNESCO World
Or
Heritage
what?
Site is located in Ecuador? Is it A, Machu Picchu, B, Chichen Itza, the Galapagos Islands, or D, Easter Island?
Okay, well,
Read her
Machu
the things
Picchu is in Peru, and Easter Island's not fucking there.
Nice.
What were the other? Can you repeat the question and the answers, please?
Chichen Itza or Galapagos Islands, B or C?
What was the question?
Which UNESCO World Heritage Site is located in Ecuador?
I mean, I recognize Galapagos Islands.
As Ecuadorian?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm gonna just say that because the other ones are literally not Ecuador.
Very well.
But it could have been the Chichen Sea or whatever.
This next question reminds me, I've really got to catch up on what's going on in the Olympics. Go Colombia. Question number 7. Which Ecuadorian athlete won a gold medal in the 1996
Oh,
Olympic
please.
Games? Come on, this one's easy.
Yeah.
Sea fácil. All right.
Nice.
A, Richard Carapaz. B, Jefferson Perez.
Jefferson Perez.
Jefferson
Notorious.
Perez.
Notorious long shot.
Gold medalist Jefferson Perez. C, Alex Quinones. Fuck me, how do you say this? Quinones.
Oh my gosh, right in the ear. It's
Quinones. Or D,
Quinones?
Nicey Dahomes.
It's
Dajomes?
not nicey the homies. I know that. I feel it in my gut. Ain't no way.
Are you saying you're not nicey to the homies?
Yeah, you're telling me that nicey to homies isn't.
It's not it.
Okay.
What was the first one?
A, Richard Carapaz. B, Jefferson Perez.
I'm going
I kind of
Jefferson
fuck with
Perez.
Jefferson Perez.
I know it's wrong, but like
Yeah,
it's so
yeah.
funny.
Very well.
I know it's wrong though.
C, Alex Quinones. I don't know how to say that. What is the traditional Ecuadorian dish made of fried plantains? Question 8. Traditional Ecuadorian fried plantains, cheese. Which is it? A, ceviche. B, japingacos. C, empanadas. Or D, bolón de verde.
It has to eat. I don't care if that says it. Like it's my mother has passed out like a recipe of ceviche. Like they're very known for ceviche in Ecuador.
Okay, but
Very-
is that the one
Wait,
made of...
but that's not. Listen to the question.
What's the
What?
question?
Question 8. What is the traditional Ecuadorian dish made of fried plantains and cheese?
Oh, okay. Fried
So-
potato cheese.
I don't know if ceviche.
No.
Put that on her mama. I had to stop her for a second.
Yes, you had to.
Yeah.
Thank you, because I didn't hear that about the fried.
Great lifeline.
Thank you.
Shout out to Bryan for the
Because
lifeline.
It's not the first one. What were the other ones? Beef.
Japingacos. I don't know how to say these words. Or C, empanadas. Or D, bolón de verde. How would you say that? How would you say B right there? That's
Yapingachos.
Yapingachos.
It's a
Yapingachos.
double L.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. This guy. I love you, brother.
Music. I guess I could change the music.
It
Bolón de
shows how much of a
Verde's-
tragedy it would be if
Yeah,
you
I'm
don't
sorry.
know what
Hold
this
on.
is.
Let me give you a little better thinking.
Well, I don't eat that. Like I don't eat anything with cheese, so I don't.
That's right. You. So this is the wrong person to ask about
yeah,
this.
but, you
I'm
know,
just
but
gonna
it's 50-50,
do-
right?
The but champiñones or whatever. That's
Japingacos. Japing.
What is that? Separate question.
Well, hold on. If I look that up, it's gonna say the ingredients, and you'll know if it is or
Exactly.
isn't.
Yeah.
So
You just gotta
nice
guess.
try, Santana. Japingacos, empanadas, or bolón de verde.
And it was cheese and what else?
Plantains, fried plantains.
Empanadas aren't cheese and fried plantains.
They're also not Ecuadorian, so
Yeah, they're not Ecuadorian.
not enough at least.
I think I'm gonna do the bologna, but verdes like that doesn't.
Okay.
But I'll do the bologna.
All right.
I'll do the bologna.
Fair enough. Question number 9. Oh, I like this music. Sounds like Mouse Hunt.
It does.
Question 9. Who is the famous Ecuadorian author for the novel Huasipungo? You Ekis, you guys got some crazy words here. Is it A, Jorge Icaza? B, Gabriel Garcia Marquez?
That sounds so Mexican.
C, Pablo Neruda? D, Isabel Allende? Or E, none of the above? Pablo. You want to go for Pablo Neurotic?
Yeah.
I mean,
Pablo Neurotic. Lock it in.
Lock it in! Bryan, what do you think her chances are on this?
I know I at least got 4 or 5 right.
I'd say that.
I know I did ass at the end. But we'll see. I went with my gut on some of these.
Number 10.
And that's why we admire you on the show.
Yeah, because
And I have issues with my gut.
all you do is take the Tylenol and eche las ganas.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I can't do it with the... Man, my hands hurt from working out so hard. Which natural phenomenon is commonly experienced along the coast of Ecuador? A, hurricanes. B, earthquakes. C, tornadoes. Or D, blizzards?
Which one is it?
Hurricanes, earthquakes, tornadoes, or blizzards?
They don't go on that side, right?
Earthquakes, tornadoes, blizzards.
Hurricanes, earthquakes, tornadoes, blizzards.
Earthquakes? Yeah, right?
Okay.
Hurricane.
Is that your final answer? Are you gonna
yes,
lock that in?
Locked in! Locked in.
That concludes the quiz. Now let's see
okay.
how your answers did.
Hold on.
According to this, you got...
How many did I get right?
And that concludes the quiz.
I'm gonna calculate
Hey.
I'm gonna calculate the score right now. But
All
is
right, while
there...
he's calculating the score?
Why is it taking so long?
No, I'm just making sure I'm calculating the score.
He's putting in his own answers.
I'm
right
definitely
now.
not. I'm making sure that you know which ones you got right and which ones you got wrong. Oh, that one's... Yeah. Okay. You got some right ones. You got some wrong ones.
Yeah.
What the number is, I don't even know. So we're going to find out together. Okay. So you got the first one right. You got the capital of Ecuador correct. It is Quito. Quito,
Wow.
Ecuador. Have you ever... Yeah, I guess you... Have
I've
you
been
been
to
there?
Quito.
Have you been there? What is
I've been
it?
to Quito, Cuenca, and Guayaquil.
Oh, very cool. Which one's your favorite out of the 3?
My mom's from Guayaquil, so I have to say Guayaquil.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's a fun thing to do there if we were there for a day?
I love going to the Malecon, which is their boardwalk, and it's really cool. It's really nice. There's museums there that kind of show like the founding of the city.
There you go.
And yeah.
Very cool.
So
Okay, it's fine.
close.
It's fine.
To the end. It made it all 55
It made it.
minutes.
It did it.
It's all right.
You keep asking her a question.
Yeah. I'll keep going through this. You got the second one wrong. You won't believe it, but the actual indigenous group known for living in the Ecuadorian...
It is Incas!
No,
It is Incas.
no,
No,
it
that's
says it's a
full of-
Shuar.
He's lying! No, he's literally full of shit! That's not true! Look it up right now on Google!
Okay,
I'm looking it up.
easy. I'm looking it up too.
Right now.
Okay.
The Incan Empire was over there!
I think you know what I think it is? I think it's also Shuar. So I'll give that to you.
Give that one to me, yeah. No, come on.
Okay. That one's an okay. Yeah, you got that one right.
Because that might be like a subset of them. Like, no, it's still Inca.
Yeah, that's true, except for
The Inca
Shuars in Ecuador and Peru.
Okay, well, the
Yeah.
Incan Empire was through Ecuador, Peru.
Okay, the third one, I find it confusing. So the U.S. dollar, that's correct.
Yes.
What does that mean? Because they're not part of the United States.
Yeah, dude. Like, it's great. No conversion.
Really?
You just go there with your Benjamins.
We got to look into how that worked out. I mean, that's a very unusual circumstance.
Yeah.
Very strange.
Why is that?
Yeah, do you know?
It has been there for a while. The US dollar has been there for a while. Yeah. I just know that like it was there 15 years ago when I was over there.
Yeah. It happens. These knowledges, they happen.
I wish Colombia had the dollar, man. That the pesos thing was ass who tried to.
I think you got this one wrong. The Ecuadorian singer that gained international fame with the song, that wasn't Julio Jaramillo.
And it wasn't Juanes.
No, because Juanes is the one that wrote the song. So it was Juan Fernando Velasco.
Yeah,
I think maybe what he did, he probably sang a cover of it, I'm guessing.
This GPT is being deceitful.
Maybe I should go back to writing my own questions here. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
It's fine.
It's all right. Well, fuck it. We'll do it live. Yeah. We got only a couple more questions to talk to you about after this. But back to your results. So right now you've got 2 right and 2 wrong. Number 5. What is the name of the famous market town in Ecuadorian Andes known for its textiles?
Otavalo?
You betcha it was Otavalo.
Okay, I should have gone with that. Because remember I was like Cuenca or Otavalo. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh well.
It's okay. Is Cuenca known? What is Cuenca known for if not their textiles?
Just like artists and stuff. Like they it's really beautiful. It's like very, very colorful and like all. That's why I thought textile stuff because it's along those lines.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Hey, guess what? You got number 6 right. That shows all your efforts in humanitarianism and philanthropy. They've definitely paid off for you in the modern world because Galapagos Islands is the UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Oh, okay, cool.
I didn't know that. That's a
Me
really
neither.
cool fact to know. I always want to go there for their turtles. The turtles seem so cool.
Delicious.
I want to, yeah.
I'm gonna forget that you said you wanted to eat turtles. So that's
turtle soup, dude.
We're cutting that.
Never had turtle soup.
You got 3 wrong, 3 right. We got a couple more questions here. Let's see how much you can get here. Guess what? You also got right this question. Which Ecuadorian athlete won a gold medal in the 1996 Olympic Games? Jefferson
Really?
Perez.
That's
I know,
awesome,
we
dude.
got Everson.
Wow.
Jefferson Perez.
Jefferson Perez, you followed your gut.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that relationship, maybe it's mending.
Is your
If
family-
Your gut's like I got you.
Is your family in? Is your dad like very pro, Olympics and all that? Do you guys ever talk about sporting events like that, or?
I mean he's more like the traditional football.
I see.
viewer.
Lex fishing.
And what was your mom like with that sort of stuff? Did she like sporting events? Did she talk about it herself? Or?
Not too much.
Not too much. So you basically guessed this. You had no way idea.
Yeah, dude, his name was funny.
Jefferson
name was
Leonardo
hilarious.
Perez Quesada, and a retired Ecuadorian race walker.
I'd have made the same choice 100 times
He's
over.
a fucking speed walker. And he won a
Jefferson!
gold medal in that. I could see you
Bring
being.
him on the pod.
Yeah, dude, send him an email.
Yeah. Well, you got that one right. Ding, ding, ding. 3 more questions. Let's see if you got these ones with similar luck. What is a traditional Ecuadorian dish made of fried plantains and cheese? I honestly was worried you were going to get this one because you said ceviche and I was like, it's all over. But
I didn't even hear the question. That was so funny. And then that was like ceviche. I was like, oh wait, I heard the
that
question so
triggered
wrong.
something in your brain. You were like, no way.
it actually was bolon de verde.
Yeah. Yay.
I've never had that before. Is it? Have you had it yourself? Is it pretty
My
good?
guess is it's meat and green sauce. No?
It's a delicious ball made of green plantains and stuffed with cheese. It's a great option for
I've had
breakfast along with
caldo
eggs
de
and
bola,
coffee.
which is like testicle soup.
Whoa!
How was that?
It was good.
They say eating testicles is really
This
good
is
for
what
your
it looks like
testosterone.
right there. It just kind of looks like.
looks
I feel like I've seen this before. Kind of like with just
Yeah.
cheese, you know?
You've seen it before.
Yeah, not bad. Okay, unfortunately, you got this one wrong. Who is the famous Ecuadorian author known for his novel Huasipungo?
That
You
one was
put
never gonna happen.
Pablo Neruda, however you say it, Bermuda, and his real name was Jorge Icaza. So his first guy. It happens. It's all right. But I'll tell you something, Stephanie. It's been a pleasure to give you this quiz because not only did you get 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, was that the last one?
No, this is the that was penultimate. This is the last one. 5, 6 right. You also got a real understanding of what natural phenomenon happens regularly amongst the coast of Ecuador.
Yes.
Earthquakes, which deserves you empanadas, not an Ecuadorian product necessarily. From World of Empanadas in Burbank, where I'm hungry as hell, so we're gonna go there.
Like 70%.
Yeah. You got about
By American school standards, bro?
1,
You're valedictorian.
2,
I'm valedictorian.
3, 4,
You're magna
5,
cum laude.
6. Technically, you got 7 if we're talking about the Incas as well. So you
Yes.
overperformed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Woo.
Hell yeah. Good job, brother.
What we want to know.
All right.
One quick thing. I think this is a question Bryan asks everybody, and
Oh, yeah.
I'll let him take it away.
I'm not that
You don't
gay.
have one more question?
I mean, that's it for my quiz. I mean,
Great job.
yeah,
Good job, Danny. This is a good quiz.
this is good. It's a good episode.
I love it because it was actually about something that the person knew.
Yeah, this is probably the closest. I mean, like, it was one thing to do the Mexican quiz with Russell last time.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't ask her questions about the Disney movie Atlantis and be like, like that out there after you did the Mario thing. But you tightened it up.
I'm glad you guys.
I mean,
tightened it up
Milo
for
is
me.
the main character of Atlantis, and he deserves to be with Shira, right? That's the name of the girl.
So
I know a lot about
the last question.
It's one of my favorite movies.
You know how certain so like in the Hispanic culture or any culture really, you know how the Irish say that they used to be slaves, and how like the Chinese built the railroads, and it's like how blacks and slavery. So like there's always some type of something in every culture. Do you ever feel any type of resentment or hatred towards Spanish people, like Spaniards? Do you I had an old friend of mine who was like puro mestizo. He was like straight Mexican to the core, like probably backed his family all the way to Metsuma, whatever, you know what I mean? But he always had this like kind of like, damn the Spaniards and damn them for their conquering ways and the conquistadores and like damn those people. Do you ever feel any of that, or do you feel any?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, there's always going to be resentment towards colonizers. The thing is, like, until you, like, a lot of people that are, justifiably resentful towards that, they'll take like a DNA test and it's like a lot percent Spanish, so like, you hate it till you realize you are it. And like, as like Latin America, like we are mestizo, we are like the mix of the conquistadors, the indigenous, and you really just need a DNA test to realize like how far are you on the spectrum? Are you more that, like, even if you're like really dark or light, like, like genes get passed out, they hide, like phenotype, you can't base everything off of phenotype. And so I would say like I share as much resentment as anybody should with like colonization, but like I don't, I think like it's, you get a lot of people that are on TikTok that are like, no, we hate the term Latinx, and like, oh, we hate like the conquistadors and all this stuff, and like they're like hardcore no sabo kids, and you're like, and they defend that by being like, well, English is also like a colonizing language, so just because I don't know Spanish, it's like, no, like your mom should have taught you, so I don't know.
So it's more towards the ones who don't go out of their way to kind of like.
Yeah, like, and I don't think it's their fault. It's like it's because my mom didn't really, like, she prioritized teaching me English first, and I learned Spanish because she would talk to my sister, who was from her first marriage, a lot older than me. My sister's like 20 years older than me.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So and that's how I grew up. So like for the first 8 years of my life, I like learned Spanish that way, and then didn't really get to practice it a lot, like while I was in North Carolina. But I talked with my mother all the time. So yeah, I guess like it's complicated, but I don't share any specific resentment. And I do want to go to Spain. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But I want to go everywhere. Now I've been to Ecuador, Colombia. I would love to go to Machu Picchu. I would love to go to Peru. Like, I think all of Simon Bolivar's liberated territories.
We gotta celebrate it.
Liberated.
Yeah.
Someone be, another guy technically who was a conquistador,
exactly.
When you really get down to it. Cool. All right. Well, do you have anything else, Danny?
I mean, I don't know. I just want to go ahead and say thanks for coming on. You're a great friend. You're smart mind. You know, you're a necessary part of the scene, you know, and I hope you're excited for empanadas because I'm fucking hungry.
I'm excited for empanadas. I'm excited for our Chilla versus Findstone. That's coming on the 31st.
August 31st.
August 31st. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
My money is on Daddy, and it's not just because I have to say that because I will.
Well, by the time this episode comes out, we'll have gone past the press conference.
We'll have gone past the press conference,
But I want to ask you, what is the whole point of Hill to Die On? Because we talked.
Oh, yeah, we didn't get a chance to talk about that real quick.
Plug real quick, Hill to Die On, first Thursday of every month at Corbin Bowl. And Hill to Die On is you have 3 minutes to die on your hill, convince us of something. So if you want to say like Denny's is better than IHOP, you have 3 minutes to convince the audience.
Cool.
And then when you see that light, you ask, is this a hill to die on? And if we say yes, then you have 3 more minutes to talk about whatever. You can continue talking about your hill, or you can do a set, or you can sing, whatever you want to do. Those next 3 minutes are yours. If you have not convinced us and we say no, you have to get off stage. And it's only happened once. And that's my co-host, Alec Pritchard. He had a really bad hill, and people were like, no, and he had to get off stage. But usually,
what was it, like eugenics? Or?
It was honestly weird. It was just bad. Like it was really, so bad.
Is it bad?
No, I forget it. Like I literally forget it. Like, but it was bad. But yeah. So come out. It's in Tarzana, Corbin Bowl in Tarzana.
What would be a hill you would present to the crowd if you had to die on a hill, Bryan?
Yes. What is your controversial?
What's your controversial take? What's your hottest take?
Well, I threw eugenics out to test the waters, so
He's like, I firmly believe in eugenics. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, yeah, give him 3 minutes and I'll explain to you.
Oh well, then you got to come by. But yeah, thank you so much for coming.
And
by,
where can they
Stephanie.
find that? Is there an Instagram page, or can they follow you just on Instagram?
You can follow me at Stephanie.F.Santana, and then for Hill to Die On, it's just a Hill to Die On mic on Instagram.
Very cool.
Awesome. And Danny,
thank you guys so much.
Where can they find you, brother?
Just for now, just look at my
let
socials.
the applause go for her real quick. Sorry for that.
Latinas
and Danny,
in comedy.
Where can they find you? Oh, this is my Danny impression. Where? ¿A dónde? ¿A dónde? ¿A dónde te pueden encontrar a Danny?
In El Red.
When it should be like this. A ver. Danny, ¿en dónde te pueden encontrar?
En redes social.
Okay.
¿Qué son tus formas de social en donde te pueden encontrar?
All right. You could find me on Instagram.
¿Te pueden encontrar en Reddit?
At Archilla.
Pornhub.
I'm updating my website, DannyArchilla.com. I'm not gonna.
No, sorry, Danny.
No, está bien. Jable. Lo que pasó.
I've never heard someone
entre tú y
double
yo.
a B. He's a bleh.
All right, what about you, Bryan? Where can they find you? Where can they find this episode even?
Shit. Y'all can find this at bingeonthis.com, man. We got our website up, as always. They got the rest of the amazing shows that we have on the network. This, that, and the other. Happy News with Perry Kurtz, Roll 420s, Reading Ronin, Roll 420 Nights, Caldo Risa, of course, and a lot of other stuff, man. Come and check us out also on YouTube, Binge on this channel. And you can find us on Instagram at Caldo Risa and at bingeonThisChannel.com. And you can find me at The Real, REEL_Bryan TV. Thank you to World of Empanadas again for being our imaginary sponsor. Make sure that Danny tells them and talks to them when he goes today.
Yeah, that's the
Take
whole
a
point
Tylenol and échale ganas.
Yeah, thank you, Stephanie, so much for coming in as always. Al que no le gusta el caldo, se le dan 3 tazas.
We'll see you next time. Have a good day, night.
Have a good day.
Evening, morning.